everyone, and welcome to PHAMCAST. I'm Margaret Wallis Duffy, your host, and I am so excited today because I have not only a friend, but a colleague and a PHAM partner that I'm thrilled to have in studio with me today. As you all know, Preventative Health Awareness Month takes place every February, and the movement happens all year long, which is why we have this podcast and TV show. Now, every week during PHAM, we have a different theme, and then we have different focus days. Well, February 10th has a very special meaning to all of us because it's Giving Back is Good for Your Health Day. Now, as a healthcare professional and a person that believes in servant leadership, the research is sound about the impact that giving back has on our health. I have always believed that we should give, and in giving, the universe gives back. And so when I embarked on starting Preventative Health Awareness Month and movement, even though it's a grassroots movement, although recognized by Health Canada, it is not funded by Health Canada, I still wanted to find a way to give back to Canadians, to find out how we could help them become the CEO of their health, to give back to organizations that are working tirelessly to try to help improve the health and well-being of the people in this country. And so that is why this particular guest today holds a very special place in my heart personally, but also in this movement. I am so excited to welcome Scott Hutchings of Global Coin Solutions back here in studio. Now, Global Coin Solutions has been our PHAM charity partner from its inception. In fact, before PHAM actually launched. Scott and I go way back, actually, from high school, and we lost touch over the years. Scott reached out to me, and as a servant, innovative leader, the minute I heard about his business, Global Coin Solutions, I was blown away and wanted nothing more than to be involved. And I'm going to get to tell you all about that here today. So Scott, thanks for coming back to PHAMCAST.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I've been teasing this concept of Global Coin Solutions, and I've been singing your praises and what Global Coin Solution does for 5+ years now. And I'm so excited to officially today, make the announcement that the PHAM partnership with Global Coin so that we can give back. This grassroots movement is giving back to charities thanks to your leadership and the help of all the PHAMbassadors and communities. So what does Global Coin Solutions do? We're going to get into that. So I thought it would be really cool before we do is to really talk about your backstory, how you got to start Global Coin Solutions. Then we're going to really roll up our sleeves and talk about just how exciting and the tremendous impact that your organization can have on so many Canadians, on charities, and on changing the legacy of healthcare in this country.
Yeah. Well, my story goes back about 13 years now. I was looking for a change, and ironically enough, actually applied to a job posting on LinkedIn. Read the job description, thought, yeah, I can do all those things. Didn't really understand what the company did. Applied, got an interview, got a second interview, and got the job. Sadly, that company ended up closing their doors a year and a half into my term with them. They had other operations in other parts of the world, and it was the other operations that caused them to shut their doors. But it left me in a position of, what am I going to do now? What are my people going to do? And what are my clients going to do? Mm-hmm. And at the time, we were taking care of a couple of major airlines in Canada and a few small initiatives. And if I didn't do something, then they were going to lose their fundraising streams. And that just didn't sit well with me.
So for all of you at home that don't know what Global Coin Solutions does, it is a very innovative, forward-thinking organization that all of you have been on an airplane or maybe driven somewhere and you've gone on holiday and you've come back with different types of foreign currency from various places in the world, and you enjoyed your holiday and you throw that foreign currency into your bedside table and you go about your day. Now, you can't buy a coffee with that foreign currency. The bank won't take it back. And what you've done, Scott, is found an innovative way to repatriate that foreign currency back to the land where it came from, where it has value, convert that into Canadian currency so that, get this, it can be donated to worthwhile charities here in Canada that are struggling to raise funds that are so needed. That kind of leadership and foresight and innovation, and as you just said, you were more concerned about the why you needed to do this. How are you going to help the people now that the doors close? And how, like, you were looking to solve a problem and make an impact. That's servant leadership. And now Global Coin Solution is our PHAM partner because there's an estimated, get this, I got this stat from you, $2 to $3 billion of foreign currency sitting in the bedside tables of Canadian homes, doing nothing. And at a time where people are struggling to pay their bills and they want to be charitable and give back to community, they can't afford to. And we know from the science that when we give back, it's good for our health. They can now take their foreign currency, donate it, and Global Coin Solutions will convert that, and we raise money through PHAM to give to charities. Scott, it's brilliant. And leading by, like with that servant mindset, it's why you're having success, isn't it?
Well, I think so. You know, it's as we've talked about, people don't have any spare money these days. Right. Things are so tight, and as you said, this is something that you can't spend. You can't buy groceries with it. You can't put gas in your car, and you can't pay the rent, but you can donate it.
Yes.
And we know, I mean, you know, the last 5.5 years, the charitable sectors across Canada have been devastated. The amount that they have to be doing, you know, I keep seeing everything about food banks these days, and the growth in the food bank sector. Mm-hmm. I mean, if they were private businesses, everybody would be ecstatic because they're growing so fast.
Right.
But they're charities.
Yes.
They're charities that are trying to feed Canadians.
Right.
They shouldn't be growing.
Right.
That's just, it's terrible. And they're struggling because they're not getting the donations that they were getting before.
Right.
And the need is up. And, you know, this is just, it's an opportunity for any charity. It really is for any charity to fundraise in a completely different way that doesn't cost them any money.
And this is where I think we really need to dive in because, you know, I love charitable work. I've been on many committees and part of charitable fundraising events. And I know it costs money to make money with charities. They host events and what have you. But what struck me so profoundly when we first started talking about this 5 years ago, and in the height of the pandemic, this is an example firsthand, when the doors were closed and people were social distancing, we plopped a container inside of Amica, Georgetown, where no visitors could come. It was only the residents, and asked them to donate their foreign currency that was just in that one building. How did that go?
It was shocking.
Right?
I did not expect that the residents of a senior center who are likely at a point in their lives where they're not traveling anymore would be sitting on so much money.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it was staggering. And again, you made the point. They were closed. There was no traffic coming in and out.
Right.
So this was just what they had brought with them.
Yes.
So it's, you know, the opportunity, as we've talked about, $2 to $3 billion is my calculation, and I think that's extremely conservative. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what's out there. Just we know that there's a lot of it.
Yes, and what's so neat about this is when you can leverage that kind of money, now that those coins don't go into the landfill, so it has a positive environmental result as well. But it also, I know those seniors, we heard it firsthand. They want to help, they want to give back, they want to feel relevant. And what a great way to be able to show people that in giving you get back, and local charities. So we, through the course of PHAM over the last 4 years, have raised thousands of dollars for different charities. The Georgetown Bread Basket being one. Where, we're doing stuff for mental health and addiction. The food banks. But the list could go on and on and on. And those thousands of dollars, that was raised in one location. Yeah. Can you imagine if an entire downtown community, downtown Georgetown, if all of those businesses got together and had a container, and we did a focused event to make sure people could come and drop their foreign currency and teach their children this is what it means to give back, and then put it back in the local community to local charities. We also raise money for CASH, Cancer Assisted Services Halton Hills, another gem of a local community charity that's so needed, supporting people with cancer and their families. But it takes us educating and having conversations like this, because we need to change the way people think about fundraising. And you fight this kind of conversation on a daily basis, do you not?
Absolutely. And one of the things that keeps me going in this is knowing that there are actually other parts of the world where this is mainstream.
Right.
They've been doing this for decades, right? You look at a place like England, for example, and they've been doing it since at least the 80s, as far back as I've been able to track this. There's a charity in New Zealand that was started by the Lions Club. It is funded exclusively by foreign currency and old New Zealand dollars that are no longer accepted. There's a charity in Ireland that is funded exclusively through the collection of leftover foreign currency, and that is a grassroots, it doesn't get any more basic than that. This guy is going from church to business to business to church he's just all
schools.
Over everywhere.
Yeah.
And all he's trying to do is raise €1 million so that they can pay for an MRI machine to go into a children's hospital.
Amazing.
That's his goal. That's it.
Yep.
It's simple, and it's being funded exclusively through the collection of leftover foreign currency. So I know that it works.
Yes.
We just need to get awareness here.
And a mindset.
And people realizing how simple it really truly is.
It is indeed. And the power of community and the ripple effect that we talk so often of on this show, because that's what this preventative health movement's about. And I can't think of anything more fitting than to have you as our charitable partner, because leverage in numbers, leverage in different communities across Canada, and recognizing that together we can make such a massive impact on a wide range of charities. And we're going to come back in a couple of minutes here and talk more about what that looks like. Some of the organizations that Global Coin Solutions is working with, how we're innovating in this space of fundraising, and what we're going to do in PHAM 2026 to really give back. We're giving so much in education already free, but we're going to physically give back in dollars to worthwhile charities. That is something, as the founder of PHAM, I can be incredibly proud of. So stay tuned, because we'll be back here in a moment with Scott Hutchings of Global Coin Solutions. See you soon.